Hey, Dan, could you say a word or two about the schedule? It's clearly upgraded from past years, and presumably that's related to having an older veteran team now that can deal with that sort of schedule.
Yeah, we've been saying from day one we wanted the schedule to grow as our program grew. So that has a lot to do with where it's at right now. I think it's actually pretty similar to what the schedule looked like last year. A variety of those teams, like everybody, just continue to get better. So naturally the schedule continues to get harder. But that's what we're trying to do here, and that's the schedule that our guys want to play. And as coaches, that's certainly the schedule that we want to play. It's putting teams such as the teams on our schedule, putting those, together. That's where you learn a lot about the guys that you have, and there's sure to be some really teachable moments, both good and bad, throughout a schedule like that. So that's a challenge that we're up for, and I'm sure we'll make some good plays. I'm sure we'll make some mistakes, throughout.
Coach, you go from starting the program a few years ago to now starting a season ranked in the top 15. Can you just put into words the growth of this program from just a short time to be a national contender?
Yeah, it's tough to put into words, to be honest with you, because our focus really hasn't changed. We're looking back at some of my practice plans from year one this week. A lot of the same stuff, is what we're focused on. A lot of the fundamentals, so that the message has always been the same. I'm lucky enough right now to have a group of seniors that give us tremendous leadership in our locker room and can continue to preach the message on a daily basis to the guys. And the preseason rankings are one thing. Postseason rankings are vastly different. I think our team is mature enough to understand that, so that hasn't been like an issue or a distraction for us whatsoever. And it's fun to just have this group of seniors understand that hey, this might be the preseason ranking, but we're taking the field every day still with something to prove.
The way the last two seasons ended, how has that kind of motivated your group? I mean, have you seen that kind of pushing them, kind of through the dog days of the offseason leading up to this Saturday?
Yeah, very much. We've tried to turn that, overtime. We've tried to turn that from a negative into a positive in a very specific way to our program, and so far so good with that. I think our guys are embracing that philosophy that we actually came up with, and that our guys have really responded to.
Hines, one of the best players in the country?
Definitely.
I wonder if you could elaborate on that.
Brendan he is extremely athletic. He is extremely smart. He just makes so many plays when the ball is on the ground, and makes so many plays in our ride and transition. He's just super, super talented. A big piece of that is he's just super, super competitive. He's been a three-time captain. It'd be hard-pressed to find anybody else in the country who's been a three-time captain of their team, and he's just a huge part of everything that we do.
Coach, Mitch in that conference final had the ACL tear. How's he doing as he comes into the season this year?
Yeah, Mitch is also doing a phenomenal job of providing great leadership to this group of guys. He is obviously super talented in a variety of different ways, and he is working his tail off every single day. So it's hard to find a guy who's more dedicated than Mitch Goldberg.
Do you think there's a timeline of when is he going to be ready for the season, or maybe at the middle of the season or something like that?
Mitch is working his tail off in the rehab process daily.
Any other questions, Coach? Just the initial thoughts about your season opener on Saturday.
Yeah, it's Fairfield is. We had a heck of a battle with those guys last year. They return one of the most talented players in the country, so that's going to be a really tall task. They're very well coached. They have tremendous patterns and spacing on offense. and it's a very experienced group for them. It's a group that they also went to their conference championship, and I'm sure they have a very similar mindset that we do in terms of, they've got something to prove this year. So I'm sure it's going to be a tough, very close, competitive contest. So, or at least I hope that it is. So.
Asked about the growth of your team, from a few years ago to now. Just your thoughts about how the sport has grown around this area and this community as they have come to support the Spiders.
Yeah, it's I think we see it in the clinics that we host. I think we see it in for home games. There seems to be more and more youth kids at our games, more and more youth players at our prospects and at our clinics and at our summer camps, and it's been really enjoyable, and hopefully, us starting lacrosse and having something for the local kids to games for them to come to on a weekly basis in the spring is something that is helped at least I hope so, and hopefully those local youth can continue to get more familiar with our guys, and we can do more outreach to make sure that happens. But the sport is growing leaps and bounds all across the country, and I think we're in a great area, and we're seeing it up close and personal, right here in Richmond.
Coach, you guys have always played for your entire existence, which isn't that long, kind of the underdog card, the unknown, the new program. Now you come to this season ranked. I mean, is it odd for such a big leap? Are your guys? Is it a challenge to have such a different mentality starting a season as opposed to the hunter versus the hunted?
Yeah, it's. I don't think our guys have a different mentality. I don't. And again, a big part of that, I'm gonna, give credit to our seniors. Because they've been through this. They were in the locker room when we were the 67th ranked team out of 67, and they know that things haven't changed. We're doing the same stuff. We're focusing on the same things. We're watching film the same way. We're practicing the same way. They're working in the weight room, the same way. And they created that culture from day one. They enjoy that culture. They believe in it. They've seen the results from it. So by no means is anybody doing any less, right now than they were doing, 3 years ago. So I do give a lot of credit to those guys and just the work ethic and the mentality that they established from day one. It continues to exist here. So I really don't have, to worry about, that aspect too much. Our guys know, that we're only as good as the way that we're playing today. So.